Hi, folks! You wanna know what's going on? Let me tell you the story of Rayman!
Ah, Rayman. What a mascot of the times. A PlayStation 2D side-scroller to match the likes of Sonic and Mario. This was a challenging, imaginative, and very fun adventure for our limbless hero. And hey, pretty soon he'll have a sequel too. Maybe that'll do well. You know, it's great that Rayman doesn't exist in an era that companies will try to throw the characters in TVs and movies hoping to make a quick... shit. Rayman the Animated Series, produced to cash in on Rayman 2 The Great Escape, as both came out in 1999. Our first problem seed here is that even though the Canadian government funded this, so sorry in advance by the way, the show was cancelled 4 episodes in due to lack of funds and poor writing. Personally, with a hero like this, I don't know what kind of story you'd expect, so let's jump in, shall we? So our first episode is excuse me, could you put a dash or even a space in? I know these were produced by Frenchies, but this hurts the English language as much as this does! So we start off with a circus.
Monty Python's a flying circus!
Alright, listen up. This better be a good show, or you creatures won't get any dinner.
To be fair, it's not that far off from the real thing. And this is our first look at our main cast of characters besides the main character himself. And weirdly enough, even though they're all original characters, they're still based off of some character from the Rayman games. Except for this dog, but I think that's because he's a negative Nancy later on.
I wish there was a way out of here.
So the show is over and we see that no one's happy about being in the circus. Finally, after 4 minutes in, we're finally introduced to Rayman, voiced by Billy West.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. Oh, thanks anyway. I had a big lunch. Nice place, though I wouldn't want to live here.
Who sounds like he recorded his lines while drunk. Kinda fitting given the world of Rayman. He's the most recent act captured by Rigatoni, who has his right-hand man Razorbeard train... Wait, Razorbeard? The main villain of Rayman 2 is the right-hand man to some bozo? Man, talk about a step down in his career. So Rayman is thrown in with the rest of the gang as we get a weirdly explained backstory of Rigatoni.
You are my superstar! The great Rigatoni finally has power and respect! No longer a thug, a merciless criminal, I mean, businessman.
Whoops, did I say that out loud?
So, Lackmac, what can I get you? A little more bread, water? Lackmac want free. Free? Free? I made you famous! I give you a place to live, food to eat, and what do I get in return?
Well, sounds kind of like a Hollywood agent to me.
Pull up the anchor, we're moving on.
I'm not sure you want to do that. You got like a huge crowd a few hours ago, so I'm pretty sure you get a couple more bucks if you stay in this area. So the circus takes to the sky once more as our heroes make a stunning realization.
Good trick, but it's clear to see the bar is fake.
Fake? Oh no, my friend. This is cast iron steel.
Lackmac strong?
Lackmac strong? Lackmac strong!
What? How long have you guys been in prison of circus if you had a bending unit with you?
We can get out of here if you just bend the bars.
So Rayman plans his great escape.
Oh, what have you done with Lackmac?
Oh, it was the craziest thing, right? He was lackmacked.
Well, he should have used his Grogoff. Now, on that note, there's not a whole lot of security on this Zeppelin, is there? Exactly how the hell did Rigatoni expect to keep these freaks from escaping?
I've got an idea. I like to make a big exit.
And they expect to jump without a parachute? Or even a boat?
Well, listen, Detective Grub, I just lost my prize act. I want you on the streets, patrolling all day and all night if you have to.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rigatoni, sir.
Well, to be fair, that is an accent you can at least recognize in comparison to Rayman's.
I will get my revenge on that Rayman freak!
Well, Rigatoni's dead. So Rayman and the crew are finally free and begin their new life as a bunch of free weirdos.
Nice set of wheels.
Oh, this hunky junk. It don't even work. I should get rid of this car.
My, friend here can fix your car.
I'm sorry, what?
My, friend here can fix your car.
Rayman, were you channeling Van Damme there?
Those bank accounts are fronts.
Listen, your friend can fix it. He can have it.
Well, there's your problem. You're a damn hoarder.
Thanks for the car.
So they ride off in their car as we lead into the next episode, No Parking. Well, so much for the car.
Attention Detective Grubb. Band of criminals spotted in your vicinity.
Wait, when did they get that picture taken? Actually, you know what this car chase needs? A mall.
Okay, let's just stop for a while.
Black Mac hungry.
Hungry? I think I'm gonna barf. Come on, let's get out of the street. That park over there looks safe.
We never should have run away. Oh, at least in the circus we had beds.
I'm pretty sure you didn't have beds. Dramatic irony!
We're free, Cookie. You should be happy.
Happy? With every cop in the city on our tail?
Wait, all one of them?
We never did anything wrong.
I mean, if anything, Rigatoni's at fault for holding slaves. I mean, don't people at circuses usually give consent?
And I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago. Write my last will and testament.
Okay, since when did Rayman become Survivor?
Why'd we even take him with us?
Oh, come on, Bettina. He means well.
Not now, Flips.
He's just a little jittery right now, what with being a fugitive and all, but he'll adapt.
Whereas I, Cookie Lava Ghetto, being of sound mind and body, I'm busy, Flips!
So Flips is sad that no one pays attention to her or the dolls she just found lying on the ground. So she rests in the car, only to be taken away.
The car! Hey! Stop!
What's happening?
Parking? No!
Unobservant, were we?
She's just so small and helpless.
We'll find her. After all, she's in the car.
And where are we gonna find the car? The lost and found?
There's a policeman. He'll know.
We can't ask a cop. We're wanted criminals, remember?
Hold on. Excuse me, officer. I'm new to your fair city, and I seem to have, how you say, lost. Well, actually, I think my car may have been, carried away. Might you be so kind as to tell me where I can retrieve it?
Yeah, okay. You want to go to the impound lot downtown. Air trolley, number 7 train. Last stop.
You're too kind.
Oh no! As if that ridiculous nose wasn't enough, he revealed his... hair? Ears? Yeah, that part of his design still confuses me.
Police!
Okay, that's a little funny, but doesn't that mean all the civilians here did something wrong? I'm sure no one has ever gotten injured on this train.
Let's get Flips!
Black Mac!
No, Flips!
So despite that scene making us think we'll never see Flips again, we find ourselves in the scrapyard.
The scrapyard.
Oh, excuse me, scrapyard. What the f*** is that?
I got an idea. Hurry.
Sorry, can't help you.
Well, if you see them around, call me right away, will you?
Well, when they get caught, there's at least destruction of property charge against them.
This place is a disaster. How's anybody supposed to find anything in here?
They don't. That's why it's called a scrapyard.
Over there!
Ah! So it's a rush to save Flips.
Bettina!
It's okay. I'm fine. Save Flips, hurry!
Go get her!
Sorry, sorry. Was that his hand talking, or did he tell the hand that? Either way, it's still confusing what happens next.
Not so fast. Stand still with your hands up. Wait a minute. Where's the floppy one?
Aw, dude, that's insensitive to floppies everywhere. Also, attempted murder. You know, at this point, escaping the circus isn't the thing they should be worried about.
Hey, that's my car! Stop! There goes my car. There goes my reward. There goes my job.
Does Lackneck know where he's going?
Hey, what's happening? Oh, just a little trick I picked up.
Oh hey, another thing from the games that's weird to see. Well, let's fix that, shall we? Lucky coincidence is that they fall into an abandoned house. Actually, it's an apartment where they're just one floor up above Detective Grubb's room.
We'll never rest as long as Detective Grubb is on the case.
This is very comical, almost like a sitcom. Next up is High Anxiety, where we see the woes of Detective Grubb.
It's back to the circus for you fugitives. When I find you, and I will find you.
So after the events of last episode, Cookie has a headache and won't stop bitching about it, while the group bitches about his bitching.
It's always something with you.
Bettina, complaining about Cookie's complaining isn't gonna help.
Not so loud. Ow, my head.
Although this is pretty amusing, it has to stop.
He's cranky today. Girl trouble, I guess.
You should go to the doctor.
Doctor?
Just for a checkup.
The doctor?
Now where did they get that car?
Cookie Lava Ghetto.
Oh! Cookie, go bye-bye.
So the doctor's office is run by a resident of Wonderland.
All right, look straight ahead and read the chart. G-U-R-A-Q-T-I-N-V-U.
Oh, don't blame you. I am pretty good looking.
Okay, that's another one that made me laugh. So the doctor continues his examination, only to find that there's nothing wrong with Cookie. That it's all in his head. Only that's the problem.
Medical judgment dictates that the patient, that would be you, should be committed.
Committed?
He should be put in a nut house.
I don't think overreacting is really a crazy thing, though.
Are you mad?
No. Not me.
Also, Lackmac, that's very creepy.
Oh, don't worry. It's not so bad here. They have Jello, we get cable, and they take us to the movies once every 3 months.
Alright, she's too innocent to be in a nut house. When is she gonna crack?
And I don't share my Jello.
There we go!
Feel like a little goldfish. It's his fault he's here, all that whining and complaining.
It's part of his charm.
That's his only character trait, though. So Grubb is visiting the nut house, which causes panic in the group.
We have to act fast. If Grubb sees Cookie, we are done for. Excuse me? Our father went in without us.
That's up the elevator and to the left.
Well, yeah, but how many floors up?
That's a good one. You're a funny little fellow. Now go fast.
Jesus, I didn't know we were playing Monopoly! So it turns out Detective Grubb is here visiting his mother, but it doesn't help that his crazy mother is roommates with Cookie.
You see, Cookie? You like cookies too?
Help me with this coat and I'll show you where they keep the cookies.
I'm gonna need some context on what you think cookies are, sir, because you sound very scary.
Sure, we met about 15 minutes ago. I mean, what is this, 20 questions? How about a different game? Cards, checkers, backgammon. Oh, I know. How about darts?
Darts? That's it! I know you! You're one of those criminals!
Cookie, look out!
Oh man, explicable timing.
Where are you? We got some work to do now.
I found cookie for you.
Oh, so the cookies were literal. Okay, so our heroes make their escape, Grub is committed, and they live happily ever after. Our last episode is titled Big Date, meaning we're about to see some spicy romance. Oh yeah.
Has Grub left for work?
Yup, his car is gone.
Huh. He didn't have trouble getting a new car.
Oh, what if he's actually home and his friend borrowed his car?
I don't think Grub has any friends. Poor Grub.
Oh, going for the Maleficent thing, I see. We're gonna sympathize with our villain.
This is too much. We think Grub is gone, but what if he's not?
So the group's paranoia leads them to make a stethoscope right for spying.
Cookie, this is the best thing you invented since sliced bread.
No wonder Grub has no friends. His place is a mess.
Actually, despite their houses being incredibly messy, my friends still have plenty of friends. Friends of friends.
Candy? Flowers?
I think Grub has a date.
Yeah! Flowers always means a date! Well, either that or he's gonna burn them. At least, that's what I would want.
Yeah, if Grub gets a girlfriend, maybe he won't worry about us as much.
Girlfriend or not, it's his job, right?
I doubt he has a date. He's just cleaning up.
Oh, please. The only time a bachelor cleans is when he has a date.
Bullshit! Actually, that might be true. I guess something rose there.
Good afternoon. I mean evening. I mean...
So the date is underway, and it seems to go well at first.
I'll take your umbrella. Ooh, 30 years bad luck. Sorry.
He's quite the charmer.
Sit down. I mean, have a seat. Smoke. Well, that's right. We're having smoked cheese appetizers.
Oh, we have to go down there and help him.
What?
The power of love is far more important than the safety of the group. So Rayman and crew fix up the place while no one notices.
Oh, thank you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Not even the lady, who should be able to see him here.
Sorry about my speeding.
You were going 65 in a 35 zone.
Thanks for not giving me a ticket.
Huh. An officer of the law is bribed with a date. That's pretty pathetic. Although I have to wonder how long she plans to keep the charade up. So even Cookie is involved with this operation as he cooks the couple a free course meal, with dessert included.
It's my 3-layer upside-down cake.
That doesn't look like a dessert.
It needs total
Cookie, are you trying to poison Grub?
What was that?
Don't you worry. I'm a certified detective.
So a detective doesn't even question that the kitchen is a mess just because food is cooked for him? I guess the quickest way to a man's heart is food.
Can I get you more soda?
Yes, I would like that.
No, Grub, don't do it.
Thanks for an interesting time.
So I guess since it didn't go so well, you can arrest her now for speeding. Nah, Rayman tries to save this romance in a last-ditch effort with what the French people call a song.
Singing telegram.
Oh.
Ta-da-ta-da-ta-ta. Sorry for the date. Hope I'm not too late. The date went so wrong, so I wrote this song. These flowers are to make up for the sorrow. How about the movies tomorrow?
I've heard white people rapping worse than this. And surprisingly, it works, and everyone is happy. At least until they realize that their show is canceled. If there are a few things that have caught my interest with the show, it's the world and the story. Even though the world is far more modern than the actual games, I can see this being in a future Rayman platformer. Can you say Rayman 4? And the story of Rayman and his crew being fugitives is not far off from the opening of The Great Escape. And with enough build-up, could have been something else. However, this doesn't forgive the fact that there's not a whole lot to this. The characters are stuck to one note, the writing is meh, and the animation at times feels kinda janky. There is a reason not a whole lot of us have heard of it. Not because it only aired in European countries, but because the plane set on fire before it even got off the ground.
And thus, Rayman, you shall have one more secret before you are subjected to hell. Repeating the same song and dance over and over and over again. When you reach the point of insanity, only then shall you be spared for your actions. But you shall bring disappointment to people's hopes and dreams before you are finally discovered.
I just want to say thank you for watching my first review. This was very experimental and something new that I haven't done, and it's something I kind of hope that I do in the future. I don't usually say this, but if you liked it, then go ahead and like it. If you are a new person introduced to the channel, then subscribe if you want. I'll probably do more like this in the future, and but the main thing I usually do on this channel is video games. You know, video games. Talking and the video games.